Is this recording? Check. I don't know if this is recording, It's always a risk, when doing these lives. It's a bit of a risk. So you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know if it's going to fuck up. Yes. Who we got in here? Bruce Lee. Yeah, shout out to Bruce Lee. Got a load of Bruce Lee films, you know what I mean? Bruce Lee's not real though, I don't want to disrespect him because I really like him. I've been a big fan of him, since a kid, Bruce Lee. But I was just watching a video of Khabib, and he was doing like a tutorial, like a grappling ground and pound tutorial, and it was just Bruce Lee wouldn't know how to deal with that. You know what I mean? Like I've said before, I could beat Mayweather in a film. If it was scripted for me to beat Mayweather. So yeah, Bruce Lee, it's not real, is it? It's not real fighting, man. What's going on? Hold up a minute. Let's leave Bruce Lee out of this. Yeah, man, I like him, but it's not real fighting, is it? Just drinking a bit of, Captain Morgan. It's nearly finished now, but I've got another bottle here, so it's going to be a good evening, I think. How's your Tuesday going? R.I.P. Echo Falls. Yep, fuck them. They didn't want to sponsor me, did they? They didn't want to get behind me, so fuck them. And my body was getting too used to that taste as well, you know what I mean? So, Echo Falls, it's quite acidy. My gay uncle who died a couple of weeks ago, he used to drink wine every day. And it fucked him up. Someone just said the audio is not working. Are you lying, or are you just trying to... Are you one of them fucking guys who just writes on here, R.I.P. Joe Rogan? Trying to get attention. Yeah, oh shit, I missed a super chat. Hold on a minute. Shout out to Mighty Max Boxing for the $2. Ty and salute, bro. Would you bang Shannon Contney? Yeah, I would, yeah. I fucked a lot worse than her. You know what I mean? But I'd fuck her to try and hurt her, and really try and put her in, like, serious pain. I'm not really into fucking arse, but I'd probably try and bang her arse, to cause her a bit of pain. She's fucking horrible, isn't she? But yeah, I fucked a lot worse than Shannon Contney, so why not? Why not? Shout out to G-Man Boxing in the house. Super chat, yeah? How much money have you got, G-Man Boxing? Every time I do a live, he always donates. And I see him on other lives as well, donating money, chucking money around. And he's on other lives and that. He's doing well. He's on my Patreon as well. Shout out to G-Man Boxing. Big up, Ty. Echo Falls threw you under the bus. Yep. Yeah, fuck him, man. Fuck him. But yeah, my gay uncle, he used to drink wine, every day. And it started to, like, rot his liver. So he fucking died. He was always in the gay bars, drinking and that. So yeah, it fucking backfired, didn't it? Do you fancy Maya Jama? Yeah, she looks quite nice, don't she? Not really into black women, but she's quite nice. So I'm sweating like I've been for a run. I've just been for a run, yeah. So that's what I try and do. I try and, like, be like an all-rounder. You know what I mean? Joe Rogan, he smokes weed. He does DMT. But he's got a black belt, in jiu-jitsu, and he does his taekwondo. And there's a good video on YouTube, Joe Rogan doing like a side kick, a taekwondo kick. So he's like an all-rounder, and he runs up mountains, with his dog. And yeah, he's like an all-rounder, stand-up comedian. I ain't really seen any of his stand-ups, but he's doing his podcasts, he's fucking UFC commentary. So yeah, Joe Rogan is an all-rounder, innit? So I'm not saying I'm on that level, but I try and be like an all-rounder. I'm drinking this now, yeah, this is rum. But I've just been for a nice run, a jog. You know, because I knew I was going to have a drink, so I'm trying to get that balance. What's going on anyway? Would you beat Charles Martin? You know, I don't really pay attention to any of them guys, you know. I keep hearing about these names, Charles Martin, Areola, Otto Wallin, you know, all these guys. I'm just not interested in any of them. Dominic Breazeale, you know what I mean? It's talk of Dillian White fighting Charles Martin, but I think because I've got Charles Martin in my mind getting fucked up by Joshua. I know it's Joshua, a world champ, but I don't know, when it's almost like one strike with me, you know what I mean? As soon as you lose, that's it. But then Dillian lost, innit, to Povetkin, and he came back and beat him, so it shouldn't really be one strike, but it kind of is sometimes with me. Dominic Breazeale, I've lost interest in him after he got fucked up by Joshua. Charles Martin, the same. Whatever. Hold on a minute. Shout out to Ryan McKenna for the super chat. McGregor got bent legs like Krugan. Be safe, yeah? Yeah, that was quite interesting, wasn't it, that? McGregor just sitting there saying, oh, your wife's sliding into my DMs. But McGregor got a wife. He's saying that to fucking Poirier. Your wife's sliding into my DMs. I'll see you at the after party. But he's got a wife, hasn't he? But he's got the bag, hasn't he? So it's makes him more in demand. Yeah. Shout out to Mighty Max for the super chat. Is Kell Brook a homosexual? Spoke about this before. There's been a lot of rumours, do you know what I mean? And they say there's no smoke without fire, but then there's an idiot on here who keeps saying R.I.P. Joe Rogan. You know, and he's been saying it for fucking ages, like on all my lives, and I see him on other lives as well, and he's just fucking... So when you say there's no smoke without fire, I keep hearing that Kell Brook's gay, so it's got to be true. Not necessarily, because of this fucking idiot on here saying R.I.P. Joe Rogan every single live. So let's fucking cut the shit. Is Kell gay? I know he likes pussy, but I don't know if he likes dick as well. He might be bisexual. You know what I mean? Rama Nathan. He might Rama Nathan. You know, in the fucking gay bars in Sheffield. I've never seen him in there, but I've heard that he likes to Rama Nathan. Yes, but like I say, I've had showers with Kell Brook before. You know, in the gym. And he like turns away, you know, like he don't want me to see his dick. And he puts his hands there as well, so I don't know. He might be trying to hide his hard on or something. I don't know, I ain't got a clue. He might not like brown people. He likes white women, so he might like white men as well, you know, like Eddie Earn. He might like that kind of man, Eddie Earn, you know what I mean? He might not like brown men. I don't like black women, but that Maya Jama, she's quite nice, isn't she? I'm looking forward to seeing her on DAZN, you know, every week. And that other one, Laura Woods or whatever her name is. Shout out to Alex D for the super chat. Give a shout out to G Dems. Tell him to be safe. Yeah, G Dems, be safe, yeah? Be safe. Who did you see in the gay bars then? What, you mean in terms of like boxers or like little celebrity? I didn't see anybody who you would know. I've just seen a lot of gay men. I was at the bar ordering a drink, or about to order a drink, and there was this gay man stood next to me. And he said to me, give me a kiss and I'll buy you a drink. And I was like, oh God. You know, my stomach, it fucking, oh. If you're gay, be gay, innit? But I suppose I'm in his territory, so I can't really be kicking off and complaining and really fucking being angry at this gay man who said to me, give me a kiss and I'll buy you a drink. I can't start beating the fuck out of him like I wanted to, because it's his territory, innit? It's his territory, so yeah, whatever. R.I.P. George Michael, yeah. That's a little gay joke, innit? R.I.P. Hagler. Yeah, Seb Eubank died, didn't he? That was a bit unexpected, wasn't it? That was a bit interesting. He died on the beach, you know, in Dubai. And, you know, Chris Eubank Sr., he put out a little statement, didn't he, saying, yeah, my son Seb Eubank has died and it's really sad and I would appreciate it if you gave the family some privacy during this hard time. You know, and we want to know what happened, don't we? Like, how did he die? Like, some people are saying Billy Joe Saunders killed him, but I don't know, that's being negative, innit? That's just speculating. It's like this guy saying R.I.P. Joe Rogan every minute. You know, people trying to get attention, you know, coming up with these little theories, saying that Billy Joe Saunders killed Seb Eubank. The Black Quitter O'Hara Davis says that it was a heart attack. Yeah, could be. That's what I mean. He was a young, fit guy, wasn't he? I was watching a video of him on YouTube, and he was kind of like dissing Eubank Jr. Not really dissing him, but like having a little dig at him, like saying, oh, he's not eating properly, he's eating all this processed food, and I keep telling him, stop eating bullshit. So Eubank Jr. is eating processed food, you know, burgers and whatever. And that Seb Eubank, you know, he was like a really healthy guy. And then he died, so it's like, just live your life, innit? Just fucking whatever. My granddad's an alcoholic, yeah? He's about 80. He has a bottle of whiskey for his breakfast and he's still alive, so. But my dad, he never drank alcohol, but he died when he was about 50. So my alcoholic granddad has outlived my dad, who didn't drink. But you know my dad, yeah, he used to go to McDonald's every day. You know, he used to go through the drive-through, you know, because my dad used to sell weed. So he was always like driving around, you know, dropping off weed. So he was always like going through the McDonald's drive-through in his car, you know, before dropping off weed. And he used to buy like chicken nuggets, like every day. Every day he'd buy like chicken nuggets. So when you're putting that kind of shit in your system, you know, it rots your insides and it causes you to get cancer and just really fuck up. So he might not have drank alcohol, but he's eating chicken nuggets every day. And there's a video on YouTube of a chicken nugget, and it lasts for like 10 years because they're pumping it with all kinds of crap. G-Man Boxing again, chucking that money around, yeah? What is your bank balance? He just gave me another £5.50 or €5. G-Man Boxing says, Tyan, have you ever bumped into Billy Joe's signals? Blowjob signals. Oh, Anna Wallace, have you ever bumped into her in real life? Yeah. Dillian White, he had a fight with a guy called, what's he called again? Rivas. And I went down to the event, you know, I went down to the weigh-in, the workouts, you know, the press conferences. I had a little photo with Dillian and Baby Ting and all that. And Blowjob Signals was there. And she like seen me and she was like looking at me like, you know what I mean? She was like looking at me like. So when it was the press conference, you know, the Dillian White press conference, I tried to get into the press conference, but that fucking Blowjob Signals, she told the security not to let me in. So I had to wait outside. Have you heard anything from Coogan lately? No. Last time I heard from Coogan was when he sent me a message, you know, on Instagram saying, "Oh, have you changed your number? Give me your new phone number. I wanna have a chat with you on the phone. You know, I wanna have a chat with you. No drama. I just wanna have a nice little chat with you." And I thought, yeah, it's all right saying that, but what are you gonna do? You're gonna try and be all nice and friendly to me, and then ask me to stop putting up photos like that, you know, of you with women. But that photo is a good photo, isn't it? Like sex sells, don't it? Those two women had a bit of excitement, you know, to this fucking life. Because it's not really a good life, is it? So these two women here, they really spice it up, don't they? They spice it up nicely. How is the crypto going? People keep talking about this, yeah. So I got into cryptocurrency. I don't want to bore people, but I'm just going to quickly say it in it because I've seen a few crypto comments on here, so I'm going to get to it. I'm going to cover it quickly. About 2 months ago, I got into cryptocurrency, yeah. I spent about 10 grand buying crypto called Ethereum, which is the second ranking crypto after Bitcoin. Ether. It was 2 grand a coin. So I bought 5 of them, yeah? So it comes to 10 grand. A month later, my 10 grand turned to 20 grand. You know, because it rose in value. But you know me, I was being greedy. I was thinking, fuck that. If it's gone up 10 grand in a month, what's it going to be like in 6 months? Is it going to be like $500,000? So I was being greedy, so I didn't sell and take my 10 grand profit, plus the 10 grand that I put in. So because I was being greedy, yeah, the fucking price like dropped, innit? It dropped back down to 10 grand, which is what I put into it in the first place. So I pretty much missed out on 10 grand and I was going fucking mental. I was going mental, you know, my greed really fucking... I could have had 10 grand from nothing if I'm just putting 10 grand into something and getting 10 grand back. So I was going fucking absolutely mental, but... kind of taught me a lesson, you know what I mean? Don't be greedy. You know, Coogan with those 2 women. Ramanathan just fucking smiling there like that, trying to keep all the pussy and views to himself, the whole pie, you know what I mean? He's greedy, innit? He don't want to share the pie, does he? But yeah, let's have a look at these. I've slowed these comments down because they're too fast to read, you know, when I've had a drink as well. So I've slowed it down by 45 seconds, but they're still like really flooding in, aren't they? Someone asked me a question about that YB bitch. Tyrone Booth, that's the guy's name who's asking the question. YB is always chasing his what? See what I mean? It's too fucking quick, man. YB is always chasing his Minger sister's minge. But why are we not talking about it? YB loves golden showers with his Minger sister, but why are we not talking about it? Yeah, that's the kind of thing he says, you know what I mean? I'm not really into that shit. He's a bit childish, isn't he? He's a bit hiding behind photos and that. If you're gonna be a troll, I'm all for trolling, but be on camera and troll, innit? Be on camera and troll, you know what I mean? Keep that fucking energy on camera. Don't be hiding behind photos. It's not very fucking manly, is it? So, yeah. He's from the countryside in Devon, YB. You know, he raises like, you know, fucking goats and sheep and all that. And cows. He milks cows, you know, in the countryside. But then he fucking like tries to act like a Cockney gangster, you know, in his videos, hiding behind photos and that. So yeah, someone says, Ty, what was your last sexual experience? You know what? I might be getting arrested, you know. I might be getting arrested. I think the police are looking for me because You know the travel lodge? I stayed in the travel lodge the other day, you know, in Nottingham. I went to Nottingham, you know, to go and see my family for a few days. So I stayed in the travel lodge. And, you know the travel lodge here? You know how you get those maids, you know, who come and clean the rooms in the morning? I was in the travel lodge here, and like the next morning, this maid was like knocking on the door, you know, to clean the room. And I just got out of the shower here, and I was like naked. So when the maid was like knocking on the door, I like looked through the little hole, you know, in the door. And I seen like a nice little maid. So I like opened the door naked. And she like looked at me, she was like, you were supposed to check out half an hour ago. And she started to walk off quickly, you know, like she was really scared and that. And then she like went downstairs, yeah. She fucking told the manager, you know, of the travel lodge, you know, this fucking Indian man. She went and told this fucking Indian manager of the travel lodge, you know, that I'd exposed myself to her. So this fucking Indian manager in the travel lodge, he like walked up the stairs and he started banging on my door and he was like, excuse me, what you did there was really inappropriate and I'll be reporting you to the police. So I like quickly got dressed and I quickly walked out the travel lodge. So I don't know if you rang the police, but I don't know if you can do anything about it, you know what I mean? I'm in my fucking hotel room, yeah. I've just had a shower. I'm naked. Someone knocks on the door, and just before she knocked on the door, like the fire alarm went off as well. So when someone's knocking on the door, and you might think there's a little problem. But yeah, fuck it. My cousin got 6 years, you know, for indecent exposure, but that was a bit different. He was like running after women in the streets, you know, exposing himself. I'm in the fucking travel lodge. I've just had a shower. The fire alarm's just gone off. Then someone knocks on the door. So I open the door like, it could be a fire. I ain't got time to get dressed. Yeah. You shouldn't do that kind of thing though. It runs in the family then. Yeah, kind of. Maybe there's something a bit dodgy there, isn't there? Genetically. Tyan, are you a millionaire yet? Not yet. Not yet. Give me till the end of the year, yeah? Give me to the end of the year. I want the fucking bag, man. I want that bag, you know what I mean? I used to work in Amazon, you know, putting boxes on top of other boxes for 12 hours at night time. It's no life, man. It's shit. It's fucking shit. I used to stand at this conveyor belt, you know, in Amazon, and all these parcels would be like whizzing by. And like, say if I was letter A, every box that went by that had an A on it, I'd have to pick it up and like quickly put it on top of another box, you know, for 12 hours I'd have to do that. And sometimes I'd miss the parcel and they'd pile up at the other end of the conveyor belt. And then there'd be somebody there like saying, whose boxes are these? And I'd say, yeah, sorry, they're mine. And then he'd say, well, try and keep an eye on them. It's like slavery. It's just fucking dead end shit, man. So as soon as I started doing these YouTube videos, I just thought, fuck it, just keep going, man, keep going. You know what I mean? Make money from these videos and then invest the money in something like cryptocurrency. And just fucking get the bag, man. I can't be standing at a conveyor belt for 12 hours at night. You know, putting boxes on top of other boxes. It's just dead end, isn't it? You know, having a little supervisor as well, talking bullshit. James DeGale got his gold medal robbed at Wembley. Yeah, I know, I heard that he got robbed. I heard he got robbed, but I don't really care, to be honest with you. I'm not really bothered. I don't really give a fuck, you know what I mean? Seb Eubank dying at a beach, you know, drowning or whatever happened, you know. I bet the Eubanks are really sad, aren't they? So it's all about perspective, innit? You know, if someone's got their little medal robbed, it's not nice, is it? But so what? I bet the Eubanks are really upset, aren't they, and depressed. Chris Eubank Jr. got robbed. You remember that video that he did? You know, when his house got robbed. I don't know if that was genuine or not, but just say if it was like real. If you compare those two, and you ask Chris Eubank Jr. which is worse, somebody taking a few of his trainers, or his fucking brother Seb Eubank losing his life, you know what I mean? Come on, man. There's no comparison, is there? So James DeGale having his little medal robbed, I don't give a fuck. Yeah, he was trying to make a joke on a Eubank Jr. You know, when he allegedly got robbed, and he said, "Yeah, you didn't manage to find my expensive watch, though, did you? That was hiding in one of my coats." So he's trying to make a joke of it. It's probably staged. I don't know if you lot seen that video on Instagram. You know, of Chris Eubank Jr. He went to some kind of event, and David Hay was there. And like when Eubank got to the venue, a load of like about 5 cameramen like lined up, and they were like taking photos of Eubank Jr. and Eubank was standing there. That was all staged. That was staged, man. You know what I mean? It's not real. He paid him. He paid a few little men, you know, to hold a camera and pretend that they're paparazzi, like following him around like he's some big time superstar. He's not that big, man. Would you say Billy Joe Saunders is a bigger name than Eubank? Who's got the bigger follow? Who's the most known out of those two? Hold on a minute. I want to compare their Instagrams, you know, and see who's got the most followers out of those two. I want to see who's the most popular out of Billy Joe Saunders, yeah, and Chris Eubank Jr. I want to see who's got the most followers. All right, Billy Joe Saunders on Instagram, he's got 550,000 followers, yeah. 550,000 followers. Let me see how many Eubank's got. Oh, Eubank Jr.'s got more. He's got 617,000 followers. Interesting, that, innit? Billy Joe Saunders. Why am I talking about this? Like, what made me get onto that? The amount of followers they've got each. What made me talk about that? I was talking about Eubank's brother dying in the ocean, the sea. Then I moved on to him getting robbed. The paparazzi. Yeah, I'm just saying, I don't think the paparazzi will be following Eubank Jr. around, taking photos, and I don't think he's that big a deal. Eubank Jr. I think he paid him, you know, to pretend that they... And then he had somebody conveniently stood there recording the whole thing. It's all staged, innit? Like that robbery. Someone says boxing is finished. I think it is. I just think it's... You know, like... Right, let me just read this super chat because it's going to disappear in a minute. And the guy's giving me a little $5 on it. Shout out to Welsh Schmers. Thanks for the super chat. Tyan, will you be responding to the YB calling you Tyrone, MTK Tyrone, be safe? What you say? Ty, will you be responding to the YB calling you Tyrone, MTK Tyrone, be safe? You know that YB bitch? You know, he's hiding behind photos, as I've said before. You know, he's trolling. He's not even on Instagram, is he? You know what I mean? Because he doesn't want to put his face publicly. So it just says it all, don't it? Like most people who have got like YouTube channels and that, they're normally on fucking Instagram, aren't they? To promote their videos. He's not on there. He's petrified of showing his face. So I don't really, there's no point in me trying to create beef with that fucking YB bitch. Because I don't know him. It's internet beef, and it's like Heavy D. You know, when he was kind of trolling me with the Black Critter. I didn't really respond because I don't know Heavy D. I don't know him. I don't really fucking know the programs that he was on. I didn't have anything to like diss him about. So it's the same with this YB bitch. You know, he's he's not on camera, he's not on Instagram, he's on a farm in Devon, you know, raising cows and fucking goats, and he's just trolling behind a photo. So there's no point. What was I gonna say? This fucking that sidetracked me from what I was gonna say. I was gonna say something that was a bit entertaining. Oh, someone said something about boxing's dead, innit? And it's, you know those YouTubers, you know, like Jake Paul and Logan Paul and KSI and whatever, Deji, whoever that is. You know, they kind of got involved in boxing, didn't they? And like Eddie Earn was like saying, yeah, it's good for boxing. Yeah, it's gonna bring like a new audience to boxing. But it's all right bringing a new audience to boxing. You know, the casuals who follow Jake Paul and Logan Paul and KSI. It's all right bringing those little casuals to boxing. But you know, if there's nothing to keep them here, it's no good. It's no good, is it? Because like since Mayweather boxed Logan Paul, when was that? That was about 2 months ago, wasn't it? And before that, like KSI, Logan Paul, that was ages ago. So like you have to keep them here, and there's nothing really interesting going on in boxing to like keep them here. You know, the casuals. So they might have tuned into boxing a little bit, you know, when Logan Paul and Jake Paul were involved. But there's nothing to keep them here, you know what I mean? People are talking about what? Fucking David Haye and Derek Chisora parting ways. Like, who cares? Who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck about Chisora? I don't know why people are still talking about him. Like, how many fights has he lost? I've lost fights, yeah. But no one's talking about me like that. No one's putting me on pay-per-view shows and, you know what I mean? No, I don't know why people are still bothered about Chisora, man. Just fuck him off, you know what I mean? Fuck you know. It's alright, his little trainers saying, oh, he's hitting numbers in the gym that he's never ever hit before. Yeah, but he still loses. So it don't matter about numbers in the gym. He's still fucking losing, isn't he? So it's alright saying, oh, he's hitting numbers that he's never ever hit before. Yeah, it's all good saying that, isn't it? But he's still losing. It's alright, Eddie Earn trying to build up his fights, his pay-per-view fights, saying he always brings war. Yeah, so what? When have you ever seen Mayweather go to war? Well, he's still a fucking big pay-per-view star, isn't it? Back in his day, Mayweather. You don't need to go to war. So, you know, Chisora going to war and hitting numbers in the gym. So what? So yeah, fucking, that was trending in boxing, wasn't it? David Haye and Chisora like parting ways, but I just didn't give a fuck. I was gonna do a video on it, but I just thought it's not worth using up my electric, you know what I mean, and my fucking internet. This live's using up my internet, but I don't mind. But talking about David Haye and Chisora splitting up, I don't give a fuck. I don't care, man. So there's nothing to keep the casuals in boxing. That's what I'm saying. That's the point I'm trying to make. Joshua Usyk, you know, it hasn't been announced, has it? It's still like, and the casuals, those people who love Jake Paul, they've never heard of Usyk. They've never heard of Chisora. They've never heard of fucking Ariola or Charles Martin or whoever. They've never heard of these fuckers. So it's all right bringing them to boxing by putting on a YouTube star, but you have to keep them here, and yeah, forget it. Jake Paul would box you up, Tyan. I thought about having a little fight, you know, a little, because I work out, you know, in the gym, and I just hit the bags, and like hitting the bags is totally different to like fighting. When someone's like on it and they're young, you know, if I fought someone like, I boxed Liam Williams about 8 years ago, and that was a tough fight back then. So, you know, now I've been drinking fucking rum. You know, I had a couple of cigarettes a few days ago as well, which, I had a spliff as well. I had a little cheeky spliff. So my body's just fucked up, but I still think I'd fuck up Jake Paul. I still think I've got enough in the bag, you know, from all those years of sparring with Johnny Nelson and Junior Witter, who was a world champion, and Kell Brook and Kid Galahad. He's got a world title fight coming up on him with Jazza Dickens. You know, sparring with them guys. I'm training with Brendan, you know, going on the pads, you know, Brendan Ingle teaching me moves that he used to teach Naz and Johnny Nelson. I've got enough in the bank from all those years. Smacking up fucking Marcus Morrison. I've got enough in the bank, you know, to smack up Jake Paul. So yeah, I don't know who that idiot was in the comments, but I'll fuck him up. Jake Paul, I mean. And the guy in the comments. You know, if he wants that smoke. He don't want it, does he? He's hiding behind comments, you know, like that fucking YB bitch. Shout out to Brad Arneson for the super chat. Sounds like you underachieved in the end. Yeah, it depends how you look at it. In terms of boxing, what it is like, what you need to remember is like, all right, in terms of boxing, yeah, I underachieved, yeah, but you know when I used to go to the gym, the Ingle gym, there was always like champions in there, you know, like Kell Brook, Johnny Nelson, you know, Billy Joe Saunders, you know, people who have got money, who have succeeded. So, you know, when you're around people like that, kind of makes you want to achieve. I used to turn up to the gym in my little Primark shoes, you know, after just getting off a bus. But, you know, being around like people who have achieved, it makes you want to do well. And like I said before, you know, I've nearly hit the fucking million mark. So, if you want to talk about underachieve, like, underachieving what? Like, boxing really helped me out financially, like, long term, indirectly. I might not have made the money in boxing, but I made it like in other ways. So, it's, you know, by being around successful people. So when you talk about underachieving, fucking, yeah, whatever. R.I.P. Hagler. Why do you keep saying this every single video? Fucking hell. R.I.P. Kirtland Lang. You know what I mean? Who was talking about Kirtland Lang before he died? No one was talking about him. No one was saying anything about him. Now they want to put him on the front page of the Boxing News magazine. Just appreciate people when they're alive. That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Fucking appreciate them when they're alive, innit? And they can receive that adulation when they're alive and make them feel good. You know, when they fall in off fucking balconies like Kirtland Lang and they're starving in the gutter, homeless, and they need a sandwich. Don't start fucking talking about them when they're dead, giving them a load of praise. When are you going to go and stab up Anthony Joshua? I don't think I'm going to stab him. But if I see him again, I'm going to provoke him. You know what I mean? You know, really fucking provoke him and hope that he hits me. Because if he hits me, my net worth will go to probably £2 million. Do you know what I mean? My fucking net worth, it will go up. Because he's like a multi-millionaire, and he, Joshua, he's got the bag. He's got about fucking... How much has he got? What's his net worth? Let me type into Google. Joshua's net worth. I know it's not going to be accurate, but we just want a little rough idea, don't we? And I do this every day, you know. I always look at people's net worths. It's fucking interesting, isn't it? I looked up Coogan's net worth. And, right, it says Anthony Joshua's net worth is $60 million. That's not true. That's not true. That's not true at all. That's not true. Is it really? It's not, is it? Realistic? $60 million. That's only £40 million. No, that's not true. It's not, is it? He's got all these sponsors, all these fucking pay-per-view. You know, when Joshua, let me just put this in perspective, yeah. So I'm just reading that. I'm going to get to that in a minute. So someone just give me a super chat. Someone just give me a super chat, $5. He's called I'd Rather Be a Blind Moth. That's what he's called. I think that's a Carl Pilkington quote, but let me read out his question anyway. Tyan, don't spill your drink, otherwise you'll be a stupid boy again. R.I.P. the gay uncle. Yeah, my gay uncle called me a stupid boy, you know, when I spilt a drink. My gay uncle, like, he had a little house party, you know, when I was a little kid. And I was making a drink and I spilt the drink. And my gay uncle said, you stupid boy. You know, and I was really afraid, you know, like he was going to fucking rape me. I can laugh about it now, Conor. But you know, when I was a little boy and my gay uncle says, you stupid boy, you don't know what's going to happen to your fucking arse, do you? Ramanathan. But yeah, I can laugh about it now, Conor. I can fucking laugh about it now. I was going to say something really interesting. Someone just fucking said something. And I was going to really fucking talk about something interesting, but that super chat sidetracked me. You know what I mean? What was I talking about before? I was talking about my gay uncle calling me a stupid boy. We was talking about Joshua's net worth, weren't we? And then I kind of spoke about Coogan's net worth. And I was looking at Coogan's finances, you know, on this official UK government website called Companies House. And I think it says something like Coogan's net worth is like £20,000. That's a load of shit. I'm worth fucking much more than that. You know, and I haven't got anywhere near the subscribers that Coogan's got, or the pussy and views that he's got. So there's no way Coogan's worth £20,000. He's trying to hide a load of the money, you know, from the tax man. He's trying to hide all that fucking drug money that he's getting, you know, from MTK Global. He's trying to fucking launder the money in it, Coogan, you know, from MTK Global. He's trying to launder the money in it. So he's not declaring it, you know, to the tax man. Because there's no way Coogan's worth £20,000. I'm worth more than that, and I haven't got anywhere near the pussy and views that Coogan's got. Because Coogan interviews big names, don't he? You know, Eddie Earn. You know, he's got like over 1 million followers now on Instagram, hasn't he? So, obviously Joshua, Tyson Fury, he interviews those two. What was I going to say? I was going to say something really interesting about Joshua. Oh, that was it. We was talking about Joshua's net worth, and it says $60 million there, which is about £40 million. And I was about to say Joshua's worth much more than that, you know, because of the sponsors and the pay-per-views. You know when Dillian got beat by Joshua? Joshua wasn't even a world champion then, was he? I think it was like a British title fight. And you know, the next day after Joshua beat Dillian, it was a Sunday, and I was walking to the shop, yeah, to buy some milk. And as I was walking to the shop, there was like two girls. They were probably about 14 years old, 13 or 14. They were like walking towards me. And like, you know, when they got like near me, one of them said to the other one, did you see Stormzy at the Joshua fight last night? So it's like, you know, if little 14-year-old girls, little 13-year-old little girls are fucking aware of Joshua before he became a two-time world champ. You know, he's big time, isn't he, Joshua? So he's got more than £40 million. $60 million. He's got much more than that. If little young schoolgirls fucking know of Joshua when he was only a British champ, imagine how many people know him now and how many people tune in Obviously, there's a load of women who want to fuck him, but they've got no chance. It's all about levels, isn't it? It's all about levels, man. Joshua is on a different level, innit, to a lot of these women. I used to work in a club, and I used to see like women coming into the club, you know, in their little outfits, you know, and they'd like walk around, you know, like divas. And you know, if a man like tried it on with them, they'd like look at the man like, oh, get away from me. You know, you're not on my level, get away, you know what I mean? You know, these fucking women who act like that, a lot of them, they've been watching Keeping Up with the Kardashians, haven't they? You know, and they've been watching these little divas, you know, Kim Kardashian, who's a billionaire. She broke into the billionaire list recently. Kim Kardashian. But you know, a lot of these women, they watch Keeping Up with the Kardashians and they try and act like Kim Kardashian, but you're not a billionaire, are you? You ain't got millions of followers, you're not a celebrity, you're not a fucking diva. So, you know, walking around dirty little clubs in Sheffield, trying to act like you're some big time fucking diva, you know what I mean? These women will die alone, because when they get to like 35 and they're not in demand, when they get to like 40 and they start to get a bit wrinkly and a bit saggy, and the men prefer like the younger, fresher women who are in their 20s. These older women who are acting all stuck up, they become like leftover food, you know, in the shop. You know how food becomes a bit moldy, you know, in the shop when it's out of date and it's like reduced. And it's got like a little cheap sticker on it saying reduced. You know, because it's out of date and it's going a bit fucking moldy. You know, some of these women who act all stuck up when they're young and fresh, and they're in their prime and they walk around trying to act like divas, and men try it on with them. And they like look at the men like, get away from me. You know, these women, they're basically like trying to hold out for like Premiership footballers, you know, who get paid like £100,000 a week. These women are trying to hold out for a man like that. But those kind of men, they're like the 0.00001% of men. So you're not realistically going to get a man like that, because they're quite rare. People like Anthony Joshua are rare. You're not going to fucking get a man like that. So these fucking women, they're going to die alone. They need to stay humble, you know, like Joshua. But Joshua, he says stay humble, don't he? But then he's having a go at gardeners, you know, calling them a bunch of pussies. You remember that? You remember when he was fucking dissing gardeners, saying, oh, you're a fucking pussy, you're not a warrior, you know, you're a bitch. You're not a warrior. Better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in war. So he's... Ty, do you work? I used to work in Amazon. And I used to work in a club, and I used to see a load of stuck up women walking around like they're fucking divas, you know, trying to act all stuck up and arrogant, you know, trying to act like Kim Kardashian and that. Yeah, man, you're not on that level, you're not a billionaire, you know what I mean? You work in Tesco's, you work in fucking Asda, so you're not on that Kim Kardashian level, are you? So, you know what I mean? Fucking... Why did YB say that you watch Love Island? No idea. Never watched it in my life. Not into them programs, man. That's what that Heavy D was into, wasn't he? He would love to have got the call, you know, to go on Love Island, Heavy D. He was like chasing that fame, wasn't he? He was chasing that fucking blue tick. He had a blue tick, but he was like desperate for it. He used to say to me, I can get you a blue tick, you know. Do you want a blue tick? I can get you a blue tick. I know someone who can get you a blue tick. And it's like, man, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I don't give a fuck about all that shit, man. I think it's better to have a blue tick, though. Because, like, you know, if you fucking message a woman on Instagram and you've got a little fancy blue tick, You know, a lot of these fucking women, they want like a little man who's got like a little blue tick and that bit of celebrity status, don't they? They're into like keeping up with the Kardashians, aren't they? And Love Island and all that shit, man. But also, if you got a blue tick, yeah, you know, True Geordie. I was watching one of his videos the other day. He's quite a good YouTuber, isn't he? He gave me a little shout out, you know, in one of his videos. He gave me a little review, didn't he? And he fucking, yeah. But he's got a blue tick. And because he's got like a blue tick, he was like messaging a woman backward and forwards. And she probably never heard of him. Like, I'm not saying like he's not known. Because he's a bit of a name, isn't he? True Geordie. He's a bit of a name. So she might have heard of him, but she probably didn't. Just like if you just go up to a random woman in the streets and you say to her, do you think that Callum Smith is a good boxer? She's not going to know him, man. She's not going to fucking know him. So True Geordie's a lot bigger name than Callum Smith. But the woman that True Geordie was messaging on Instagram, she might not have known him. But because she seen a blue tick, she thought, who's this? So she probably did a bit of research, you know, on Google and like typed his name in because he's got a blue tick. And the bitch started like screenshotting his messages. You know, the bitch started like taking screenshots, you know, of his little sexual messages. And she put it on fucking Instagram and it kind of, Twitter, and it started to kind of go viral and that. So I think True Geordie kind of caused him a bit of depression. And he started hitting the alcohol. I don't know if he was on the rum, but this is fucking nice. But you know, that dirty little slag, you know, if he didn't have a blue tick. I think being famous draws a lot of attention to you, don't it? I remember when I was in town, in Sheffield city centre on a Saturday night, and I was getting a hand job off this woman. And two guys walked past and they shouted, "All right, Tyan, be safe, yeah?" And I was like, oh, fuck off, man. Yeah, fuck off, man. Fuck off. Like, thanks for watching my videos and that, but it's not the time, is it? It's not the time for that be safe shit, man. It's not the time, is it? So, yeah, sometimes I think, I'm not saying I'm a somebody, but obviously if you're a big somebody like a Joshua or a True Geordie, someone like that, it's hard to just like sneak around, innit, and just go into brothels and stuff like that and just fuck about without people recording you and screenshotting your messages and all that. Right. How long's it been now? How long's this live been? It's been about... How long's it been now, do you think? Because I might do another one. I think this has been an hour. I might do another one like straight away, you know, and try and milk the ad revenue. So yeah, I might do another one. I'm just gonna go for a piss. There's about 800 people watching, yeah. If I stop the live, go for a piss, do another live, the viewers will drop drastically. So, but yeah, I just want to milk that ad revenue, you know, and try and get to £1 million by the end of the year. It's not just that YouTube ad revenue, it's just different things, isn't it? It's a lot of different things. Patreon, shout out to the people who have subscribed to my Patreon and who buy merch. This woman messaged me today saying she bought some merch and she was asking where the merch is, but you know, the fact that a nice woman is buying my merch, it's good, isn't it? Right. Tyan, you missed my donation question. What did you say? What did you say? I'll have a little scroll back and see what's going on. Yeah, I missed it. There's too many questions to scroll back. Tyan, are you jealous of Chris Eubank Jr.? Well, his brother's just died, you know, in the sea. you know, by drowning, and he's fucking dead, his brother. So I'm not jealous of him because I've got a brother. And if my brother died in the sea in Dubai, I'd be fucking really man down. So you know Eubank Jr., you know that little silly belt that he won, that IBO belt and that little fucking silly British title belt, that means nothing to him. That means absolutely nothing. If he could trade in that little silly belt, that little fake world title belt, to have his brother, Seb, alive again, he'd fucking trade it in like that. So you talk about jealous of Eubank Jr. I'm not fucking jealous of him. My brother's alive. It's perspective. This is what I'm saying to you. Your silly fucking mentality is causing you to fucking work in Amazon. Like I used to do, putting boxes on top of other boxes. You've got a silly brain. Are you jealous of Eubank Jr.? Yeah, fucking hilarious. Fucking hilarious. You can't take your belt with you when you die. Yeah, good point. That's what I mean. It's true, innit? It's true. A fucking belt, especially an IBO belt, it's not a real belt, is it? You got all these silly belts coming out. WBO, European, Intercontinental, Silver, Emeritus, fucking World, WBC, Bridgerweight, fucking... What other silly titles did they put on belts these days? Yeah, fuck it. I've lost interest in boxing, man. I've lost interest. Right, one more comment and then I'm going to fuck it off. I might do another live afterwards, but I don't want to milk it. Shout out to the people who have donated and tuned in. Stop dissing us Amazon workers, yo. Like, seriously, like, you know, if you work in Amazon, like well done, innit? You're not fucking selling drugs like Anthony Joshua. You're not breaking into people's houses, you know, like they did with James DeGale, you know, and stole his medal, his little gold medal. You know, you've done well. You're working, aren't you? So, like, well done and that. Well done, but it's like, you're working 12 hours, yeah, putting boxes on top of other boxes. Like a little fucking black slave running around. That's not racist. It's just a fact. You're like a little slave. Jeff Bezos, you know, the Amazon head CEO, he's worth about $150 billion. So it's almost like you're running around like a slave, you know, to give him those kind of profits. And the shareholders and that. I'd rather be a shareholder. I'd rather buy shares in Amazon, you know, and let people run around for me instead of me fucking running around like I used to do, putting boxes on top of other boxes for Jeff Bezos to be worth $150 billion. Fuck that. Fuck that. Amazon is some baby thing. Getting bashed every week as a journeyman pays more. I know, but a lot of these journeymen do work in Amazon because they only train like twice a week, you know, because they go there to lose, so they don't really need to be that fit and healthy and sharp. So they work in little jobs as well. So I'd rather not do any of them, to be honest with you. I mean, some people might say I was a journeyman, but I think journeymen are people who have lost like 200 fights. I've probably lost as many fights as Cesaro. So yeah, I don't know. I won't recommend any of them, being a journeyman or being a fucking Amazon worker. Right, one more question, yeah. Shout out to El Rudo for the super chat. Why do you call Gareth the Arsehole Davis? Gareth the Arsehole Davis. I don't know. I used to like You know Coogan, yeah? He'd be interviewing Eddie Earn, and you know that fucking Gareth, that arsehole Davies, he'd like hijack the interview, you know, and just start talking a load of shit, you know, desperate to get on camera. You know what I mean? And it was cringe, man. It was really fucking corny, cringe. And he used to just talk shit. And Eddie Earn's quite a good talker, innit? I like listening to Eddie Earn. I don't really listen to any YouTube boxing interviews anymore. It's all boring, innit? But I like listening to Eddie Earn. He's a good talker, innit? I used to tune into those IFL fuckers YouTube videos like every day, but now I can't be bothered. I can't be bothered to listen to Zoom chats, you know, with Gareth A. Davis or Boxercise Ben. But you know, fucking Eddie Earn is a good talker, innit? But he's probably the only one I listen to now, you know, on IFL and boxing. What's Hor Phelps' channel called again? Beyond the Gloves or Behind the Gloves or something. I just forgot. I ain't tuned into any of her videos for a while. But Eddie Earn's a good talker, innit? But yeah, I'm not interested in these YouTube boxing channels. You know, Vlad TV. I was watching an interview with him the other day, and he interviewed like a crooked cop. And you know this crooked cop? He used to like pull drug dealers over, you know, in America. And he'd like search the car and he'd find like thousands and thousands of dollars, you know, worth of drugs. And he'd like keep the drugs, you know, and like sell the drugs for a profit. Or he'd like plant the drugs on people, you know, that he didn't like, you know, so he could arrest them. You know, and it makes you want to be a cop, don't it? Because he got more from like one of those kind of like stop and searches on drug dealers than he got in his whole salary, you know, for the whole year. So like, imagine that. Imagine you being a cop. You pull over some drug dealer like Joshua. You search the car. You find about 10 grand's worth of drugs, and you find about 5 grand's worth of money. So you take that and you keep that for yourself. That's 15 grand. And you let the drug dealer go. You got 15 grand, you know, from one night, and you've got drugs, yeah, and you can plant them on people that you don't like, you know, and arrest them. It's fucking good, isn't it? Makes me want to do it, but I've got a few little convictions, you know, for drink driving and that, so I don't know if I'll be able to get into the, you know, the police force. R.I.P. Hagler. Yeah, I'm gonna wrap this up, man. It's just same old, innit? It's fucking R.I.P. Hagler. I'm gonna wrap it up. Thanks for watching. Might do another one in about 2 minutes. But yeah, thanks for that. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for donating. Thanks for yeah, thanks for that.